Good evening, this is Kuro. Got a, what is this? Oh, this is a Tier 9 game in my Tier 9 Chung Mu. Going over the matchmaking, we've got a enemy Taiho, got a few battleships, bunch of cruisers, only a couple cruisers looking at it, and a bunch of battleships. Looking at the enemy DDs, Fletcher, Kitakaze, another Chung Mu, and a Moss. From our standpoint, the Fletcher, well, the Kitakaze is the largest DD threat. The Taiho is the largest overall threat. Um, so we're gonna kick this thing off and talk about the Chung Mu. Chung Mu basically is a Fletcher. You have the option of running either smoke, which is an interesting smoke in that it has a very long deployment duration, but a relatively short staying time. So in a sense, it almost acts like a different sort of Commonwealth smoke. And you can, do some games using your smoke where you know, bound out of your smoke, get vision on a DD or something, get a couple quick shots off just in time for your next smoke plume to reconceal your ship, and you can repeat that a few times before your smoke is finished deploying. Um, the other configuration is running radar. I'm running radar right now. Um, one of the issues with that CV matchmaking, I don't have smoke to use as a potential tool for survival. So I need to be mindful of that, need to adjust to it. And, you know, at the same time remain useful for my team. If they're gonna win this battle, they're gonna need, destroyers doing destroyer things up at the cap. So, starting out, I push up to C cap. We've got an enemy DD on cap. The Moss makes it 2 DDs on cap. And I've got a Z46 here for support. And that's about it. All of my teammates are kind of lagging ass right behind there. To note, I don't even bother with, torps on the DDs. The deep waters obviously are no threat to destroyers. So I just use my torps to basically clog a likely avenue of approach that the enemy will take. And at this point, the enemy has, or my friendly carrier has a strike package coming in. I take the time and I pop radar now. We're focusing the Kitakaze. Obviously, getting this DD off the board is, would be a huge boon to us. So, in this instance, radar was absolutely, critical to enabling us to kill that guy at very little cost to us. Now, I'm plane spotted right now. Got a Neptune shooting at me. I'm just dipping into the island until the plane goes away. The plane's coming back. I'm going to get spotted again. So I'm just going to reverse around the island and, play it safe. To note, the enemy team's down the Kitakaze and the Moss. The Z46 was able to torp the Moss, and that's a pretty clutch play. Already this quick, they're down 2 enemy destroyers. That's really going to hurt their ability to contest cabs. If their CV isn't really doing a good job spreading his planes out, they're gonna struggle to have vision on my team, and that means a lot more opportunity for my guys to, farm from general safety. Not to mention a lot less torpedoes flying around for my team to eat. So right here, I'm just playing, hey, you can't see me with the CV. My Z-46 is apparently shredding that damn fighter. Usually that's unusual. I'd be interested in seeing what build that guy's got. They're advertised as having decent AA, and they do have some decent base values, but it's typically they're a little iffy running an AA build because you don't have defensive fire or those types of things. So, getting back to the game, we're going to push back up onto B cap. I know I've got a smoked up DD here. I think it's the Fletcher. Judging by the shots coming out of it, it could be the Chung Mu. It's pretty much a Fletcher as well. And I just want to sneak in here and just knock off an ambush with this Z-46. And this is how you're gonna hunt in ranked. See a smoked up DD, shooting. You're using their smoke for concealment. You just, creep into the islands. Now one little nasty tweak that I found, I'll pause it right here. I'm running the stock gunfire control system module. If you were running the upgraded module, you have more than 12 kilometers of range, which would mean that if I was shooting, this hood would have been able to spot me, and this guy would be able to shoot at me. I basically would have to try to tuck back in under this island to break line of sight. So by running the stock gunfire control module, I make myself harder for the enemy to detect because I have a shorter gun range. That's something that I will frequently do on US destroyers or their clones. Just especially if I'm running things like if I'm not running Superintendent and I'm trying to save smokes, I will tend to do that just so I can disengage quicker, and just by kiting away directly, I can exit range just a few seconds faster and get safe. Now right here, this is what you don't want. You don't have smoke, you got a fighter over you. This is nasty for a Chung Mu to deal with, and this is going to be one of the big differences between Black and Chung Mu. A Black could just smoke up there. The difference is, a Black is not going to be landing the kind of torpedoes that you can on battleships and cruisers. This ship really is a incredibly dangerous torpedo threat to cruisers, battleships, anything that's not running hydro. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. If those torps aren't spotted by, planes struggle to spot them, so if it's not, had a destroyer drive right through the, your spread, chances are you're going to get hits. I'm just kiting away up here, dodging, since it looks like I'm going to be spotted a while. Just going to use the guns a bit on this Iowa. Again, it's USDD guns. You know, they're very capable. We got more planes coming in, so just gonna keep kiting. I mean, we've still got B-cap cleared out. Looks like my Z46 has refreshed his smoke. He's just riding out the airstrike with his smoke and relying on some friendly AA to take care of the plane situation. So taking a look at the map, we've got a Nagato in the south that really isn't that big a threat. I mean, you look at it, he's got a Tier 9 battleship in his face, a Tier 9 cruiser in his face, another Tier 9 battleship, another Tier 9 battleship. This guy, he's a waste of time. So, but up here, they still have a sizable force that can push. And more importantly, most of them don't have hydro. So any of these guys seeing me turn into cap like this, they really don't want to come close to that cap, just because, you know, the torpedoes are just so nasty. And mind you, this is with a potato captain too. I think this was a 12 or 13 point captain. This is, you know, it's not a 19 point captain or anything like that. It's with the 19 point captain, you're going to make the ship even stronger. You know, either run as superintendent for the extra radar, speed boost, you know, extra gun power, extra torpedo power, you know, lots of things that you can do. Basically coming up here, just dropping some, you know, make-a-wishes on this Alsace. These guys, they don't seem like they've really committed to trying to attack the cap. I knew I only had a limited amount of time before the CV starts sending planes back up my way, so I'm just, you know, getting them out there basically. You know, torps never launched or torps that'll never hit. Do manage to clip the Alsace with one torp. There's no flooding, unfortunately. Since I'm plane spotted, I'm just going to go on ahead and start shooting, kiting away. Just going to try to use this island to break contact, get safe in cover. Now this is sketchy. I turned into this island just as the torpedo bombers came in. At this point, if he went to try to strike me, that would be pretty dangerous. It looks like on the mini-map he's pretty fixed in on another target. So, you know, I judged at that point that, you know, I'm not gonna be, you know, torpedoed by this guy. So, you know, just gonna get in what I would call a blocking position where I'm able to drive into cover and at the same time get my torpedoes easily on targets trying to approach the cap. And it looks like the Alsace is going south, so I'm just gonna push down here, see what happens. You know, this is all about cap control. You know, these guys saw me head down here, so the Alsace is already turning back up. And, you know, just no mercy. You know, it seems like a little bit of ring around the rosy, but sometimes that's what you need to do to maintain cap control. It can get kind of stupid sometimes with the games you've got to play, but you know, it is what it is. just looking to drop torps on these targets here. Those were actually more aimed at, I didn't think I was going to hit that many in the first, oh, well that's why. Turpets detonated, I just noticed that. I didn't think that that first set would kill him, so I was aiming for a permanent flooding. And at that point, the game goes, good lord, I'm tired. We win the game. You know, Chung Mu, she's gonna be a force multiplier. You know, you combine a Chung Mu with a Kitakaze, that's gonna be absolutely disgusting. Uh, the Kitakaze drops smoke for the Chung Mu. They both just farm a DD. Uh, you know, Fletcher DPM, and I mean, you can even run gun build on Kitakaze or on Chung Mu, and you know, it would be really nasty. Personally, I would. This is a ship I would design my build based on what I was seeing. If I'm seeing more battleships, cruisers in the matchmaking, I would dial my build more towards torpedoes. If it's, you know, 3, 4, 5 destroyer games, I would be going full ham with the guns. You know, honestly, because that's the only way you can really protect yourself from enemy DDs. And this is a ship that you really would like to pair with a smoke DD. And I mean, the nastier gunboat it is, the better. Uh, Initial game positions, you know, coming up to caps where you can torp, you know, battleships or cruisers trying to approach a cap, and just get into a radar position where you can cover that rock where you see destroyer after destroyer try to cap from that location. And you know, that's really solid positioning for a Chung Mu, and you're going to be really nasty for people to deal with. Um, as far as how strong I think she's going to be, I think she's going to be a situational destroyer. I don't think she has as much general purpose or utility as a black. I don't think the smoke is as useful as, you know, for example, a Fletcher for your team. But she is going to be a ship that if you play to her strengths, she will be a force to be reckoned with. um, so this is Chung Mu, probably the nastiest torpedo threat out of all of them, just because of the nature of deep water torpedoes. The fucking things are invisible practically, and like I said, they're like shooting fish in a barrel. If you can stretch these things out and you know, get good torpedo angles on stuff, it really is just not fair. So, hope you guys enjoyed this game. This game had a lot more, uh, you know, focus on dealing with destroyers. It's one of the reasons why I picked it. Um, just the general utility of trying to clear out caps, stuff like that, and how I go about it with a ship that, you know, I have radar to make sure that I provide 100% spotting to anything within that radius. But the flip side to that is I don't have any way to conceal myself, and you've got to, you know, have a little brain power applied into how you're going to do that, because you know, you need to live. You need to, you know, continue the game and pick up the caps. You know, one other thing to note in here, because you don't have smoke, you're constantly spotting. And it's so easy to just rack up ridiculous amounts of spotting damage. Um, so that's another thing that you can do. As you know, all your other destroyers they got their smoke screens up and going like that. If you're just cruising along outside of smoke, happy as a clam, looking for something to torp or radar, you're picking up all that spotting damage. And that's, it may not reward you a lot, but it can win you a lot of games. So I'm just going to cut this off before I ramble on some more. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.